It's a lot to have his locker. I've only heard great things about him from the boys that play with him. So he's a very well respected veteran, a guy that a lot of people looks up to, and he was a great leader. So hopefully I can follow into his footsteps.
I know you were invested in the future of this team from last year, but does it feel different to walk in with a 6-year commitment versus a short-term commitment here?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It feels completely different. You go in and now you know you're gonna be here for a long time, and you want to put all your effort and everything I have into making every single individual in that room better, and that goes from the front office all the way coaching staff and players, and make sure that communication is there, make sure that we're working together in order for us to achieve the goals that we want to achieve. So, definitely it's a great feeling to know that you're gonna be part of this family for a long time, and I'm very excited to get to work.
Does that look different to you on like a day-to-day or big picture basis? Like how you said it feels different, but is that going to manifest in how you carry yourself?
Yeah, because I know that the seeds that I'm gonna plant here are seeds that are gonna, grow and make us an organization that can win for a long time, and that's what I want. As to when you have a short-term deal, and then you probably end up with another team, and then you have to beat that team that you help, build up. So now it's good to know that and feel that I'm gonna be here for a long time. I'm gonna be part of the whole process. I'm gonna be part of this family, and it's gonna be fun watching all these young players become superstars and grow into great players.
Carlos, how different was it to come in here knowing you almost weren't here twice, and then you come back where you were? How different does that feel?
Sorry, what was the question?
How different does it feel knowing you almost weren't here twice, and then you're right back where you were?
Yeah, it just feels great to be here and to be able to play this game with this group of guys that I built such a great bond and relationship last year with. It was truly, besides obviously making the playoffs, it was a truly special year for me because I learned so many things about myself. From starting slow during the season to finishing strong and focusing on helping young guys become better players. To me, that was very interesting and a lot of fun. When I was with the Astros organization, I mean, there were a lot of veterans there. They know how to go about their business. They know how to work. They know what it takes to go out there and win. Because they've seen it firsthand and they've done it and they've been successful for a long time. And then, when I came here and, I have a lot of young players here with me, it was great, the challenge of, showing them how we should conduct business in order for us to get to where we want. And it's not only about, showing 2-3 hours before game time, and you gotta show up with time. You gotta bond with your teammates. You gotta spend time with your players and ask questions and sit down with the analytic department and figure out how you can get better. Because like I tell them, the way to gain an advantage in baseball is to work while others are distracted, right? In today's society, a lot of people like to be on the phone, or they like to go out, or they like to stay in late. And the really good baseball players gain the advantage by getting their rest, eating healthy, putting in the extra work, showing up early, doing that early work. That's what sets you apart, right? Because if everybody did the same work, then everybody would be the same in this game, because we are all talented and we're all gifted, right? So those advantages you gotta take, and they're understanding that. You see how they show up in shape. It's a principle. It's very important to take care of your body and to have that mentality in order for us to be able to go out there and win.
Your early line from the odds makers is 82.5 wins. What do you think of that for this team?
Well, it's all gonna depend on like I said, on how much the guys inside that clubhouse want it. Staying healthy is gonna be the most important thing for us as a team. We all know that is no secret. Last year we were in first place for over, I would say 100 games or so. And, we fell off right when the injuries happened. And at some point we had 19 guys in the IL that we needed out there, and it didn't happen for us last year. So, everybody taking care of their bodies, everybody putting in the work, everybody, making sure they're doing whatever it takes to go out there and post every single day is going to be really important for us.
You think the lockout played into that? And obviously there's some things like Royce Lewis where that just, the knee can't help that. It's free. But do you think the lockout played into it, the quick ramp up at all?
It could have, but a lot of players went through a lockout. A lot of players stay healthy. So, it's every individual's got to take pride on how good they take care of their bodies and the stuff they put in their bodies and all that, it truly matters. It truly makes a difference. And some people might say, oh, like, I want to enjoy life. And what I tell my players is, all you have to do is sacrifice 10 years of your career. 10 years of your career, you're successful in baseball. You make a lot of money. Your family's set for life. And then when you're 35 and you retire, you can do anything you want until you're 75. So you got 40 years to do whatever the fuck you want. So, for me, it's, hey, give me everything you got for the span that you're going to play this game, because it's not going to be long. And then after that, you can do whatever you want. So the guys in there, they understand it. They get it. They're all invested. They're all in. They want to win. So I think we start on the right path. Showing up and seeing everybody looking good, everybody motivated, everybody, hitting the ball very well. I like that.
What does it mean to you knowing that you're going to be alongside Byron for the next 6 years, the two of you?
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Byron and I, our relationship is so amazing, right? In such a short span of time, we got to grow up as brothers. We on the off days we'll go grab dinner with our wives, and now I have kids too, so my kids are gonna grow up. They're gonna play together. So it's gonna be interesting to see how relationship is gonna develop from now on, and I truly feel that we're gonna be brothers for life after this. So I'm very excited to be next to him. Obviously, the talent is off the charts, so I get to learn from him every single time, every single day. I'm trying to get as fast as him, but that seems impossible. But I'll keep working.
Last year, when you came in, you were very clear, like, this is Byron's team. Now that you know you're going to be here for a while, how do you view that? In that
Well, the way I see it is that together we can build something special here, right? And we talked about this multiple times. I said, if we go out there and lead, not only with our boys, but also by example, and we show the young guys what it takes to go out there and be successful in this game, they're gonna follow. And we just gotta work together all the time. And we did it last year. We're gonna do it this year. We're gonna do it for as long as we are with the Minnesota Twins. And the ultimate goal is to win a championship. So he wants it as bad as I want it, as bad as anybody in this organization wants it. So we're putting in the work.
Carlos, listening to you, you obviously understand what a leader is. Who are some of the people that you're kind of following that were leaders for you?
I think I learned a lot from guys like Beltran and McCann when they came into the team. That's when I truly understood what real leaders do. And the main thing is not only focusing on yourself, right? It's easy to be a great player and just focus on your craft and do your thing. And when people ask you questions, you don't pay attention, or you don't spend the time with other people. And I learned from them that in order for your team to be great, in order for your team to be successful, you gotta plant seeds in every single one of the human beings in that room. And that's what they did with me. That's what they did with all the players in that organization, which is why, the organization, if you look from that year on to now, they've been so successful for a long time. And it's because everybody takes care of each other and everybody cares for each other and everybody's trying to make each other better. I mean, I'm talking about, when a player's going through a slump and we're on the road and you got 7, 8 guys studying film in the room to try to see what's going on with his swing and help him get out that slump. And all of a sudden you see the next road trip and, he's going crazy and he's hitting the ball real well. And, as a teammate, that makes you really happy when you can help others and you can just make them better. So that's something we're doing here. Towards the end, it was getting a lot better. At some point, I had 9 guys in my room. Come August, September on the road, we're talking baseball. I mean, I'm seeing Nicky G going from a singles guy to like driving the ball and hitting the ball off the wall and hitting home runs, and just by little adjustments that we saw on the video with our hitting coach David Popkins. And then you start building the culture, right? And then you start getting together, and then you start caring for each other, and then you start calling in the off season, even though you're not with the team at the time. See how your family's doing. Let me see, how's your dad doing? Hey, your son is sick. How is he doing? And then you start caring on a personal level, and that's how you build that great atmosphere that helps teams win championships. Because the talent, it's good. Yeah, you gotta have talent to win, but also you gotta have some of the other tangibles in order for your team to be great, and that's something we're building here right now.
Do you see any?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like, when I was young, my first, I'll say 3 years in the big leagues, I was just watching everyone, watching the greats, watching Altuve, how he go about his business, his routine in the gym, his routine in the cage. I would watch Springer, I would watch Michael Brantley when he came in, watch Carlos Beltran, watch the guys that have success in this game, and see what they do, what makes them so good, right? And they all have something in common, is that they're obsessed with the game, right? All they do is breathe, talk, eat baseball, and all they want to do is just get better every single day. They wake up with a motivation every single day. I want to be better today. I want to be the best player in my position. I want to be the best player in the game. And that's what makes them great, right? So, you pick up those things, you learn from them. It's contagious, right? Success it gets really contagious, and that's how you make each other better. So, that's a fun part of it.
And are you glad, is it a relief at all that you're a shortstop here? I know you were willing to move for...
At some point in my career, I'm gonna have to move to third base. I'm not naive to that. I don't plan to play shortstop until I'm, 40 years old. Well, yeah, but jitters are great, and it's really hard to do it in today's game, right? But I want to play shortstop until I'm really good at the position, right? The moment that my metrics and my numbers and I'm not good anymore, I won't let my pride get on the way. I won't let my ego get on the way. And if it's time to move to third, then I gotta make that move to third, right? So I'm really hard on myself, as you know, and when I realize, hey, I outgrew shortstop. I mean, I'm too big, or I'm too bulky, or I'm too slow, or whatever it is, shortstop. Then I'll eventually make the transition. So, that's something that won't be hard for me.
Is the family here?
No, they're in Houston. My wife is due March 10th.
And she's going to have the baby there?
Yes.
You talked about emphasize feeling totally healthy when they introduced you at the press conference, but that was a topic this off season. Is that going to be on your mind at all as you physically ramp up for this season, or is that going to be something that you think about as you kind of figure it out?
Obviously, you think about it. There's no need to lie. You think about it, but I mean, I've been playing for 8 years. Since I had the surgery, I haven't had any problems, so I will just keep doing the same things that I've been doing. I take really good care of my body, and I'll plan on doing that for the rest of my career until the day that I decide to retire. So my focus is just to take care of my body and just go out there and perform every day.
So nothing in particular different now, just what you've been doing?
No, not really. Yeah.
How much time is your physical prep, like when you start getting ready for the game, not the cage, but you see you getting your back ready, all that stuff? How much time?
Yeah, it takes me safe. Depends on the day, right? Day games a little shorter because you gotta get quicker. But I do like an hour workout every day, which includes something for the chest, for the shoulders, for the back, for the hamstrings, for the quads. Obviously, I take the core is the most important. So keeping the core strong, the lower back strong, and it takes me about 40 to an hour to do my workouts every day. So what I do is, some players like to do deadlift and they like to do heavy lifting twice a week. What I do is I do the same thing every single day of the week for 181 days, counting the off days and all that. So my goal is to stay strong, to stay mobile, to stay consistent with how my body feels on a daily basis, right? So, if I start adding more weight, you start getting more sore, right? The last thing I want is to be sore. Because the season for me is not to get stronger. The season is to maintain what I worked on in the off season, right? So in the off season, I do weights and I make sure my body's ready for the off season. Once the season hits, I don't need to get stronger. I just need to be healthy. I just need to post every single day. I mean, I'd rather be, flexible and not as strong, but be able to post for 150 games than be the strongest guy in the league and only be able to play 80 games. So, it's a good balance that players gotta have of, how strong you really want to get during the season when all you have to do is post every single day and maintain what you worked on in the off season.
Has that always been there, or was that something you picked up as you got older?
I wish it was always there, but obviously, you're young, I would say naive. You don't ask as many questions as you should, and that's a problem. People are scared to sound stupid or make stupid questions, and when you're young, that's a big problem that us young players have. And I tell the players all the time, ask as many questions as you can, because I didn't ask. And early in my career, I would just show up to the cage. I would just start swinging like crazy. And you know me, if you see my cage routine, I mean, I don't take swings off. Like, if I'm going to take 25, 30 swings, they're going to be 25, 30 swings, 8 swings, right? And I would probably take 100, 150 swings before games without even warming up or stretching, which caused some problems early in my career. then I started talking to doctors, physicians, and whatnot, and I started learning about my body, about how the body functions and how does it work, and how you got to keep it mobile, flexible, strong in your core and all that. So, learning to experience it and throughout the entire process, something bad had to happen in order for me to understand what it takes to pose and be healthy. And, I'm glad I found out when I was 24 years old. So it was still early enough for me to be able to make the right and necessary adjustments.
When you walked in there, you had a chance to walk around with all your teammates. Does that feel good?
It feels great. This feels great, right? You spend the off season is the time to spend with your family, right? Now I'm a father. Spend time with my son. Make sure I raise a young man that's ready to face what's out there in the world right now. And once the season hits, man, and I'm in spring training, it's like, all right, it's game time. It's time to get to work with these guys. It's time to just focus and go out there and set some really high goals, right? Because, like I said in the press conference, winning the division should it's the first thing that comes. But, when we're talking about building a team that's going to win, it's about winning championships, right? Winning the division is not going to be enough. So we got to set goals that are really high, and that way when you accomplish them, you'll be really satisfied. So, that's the plan here, man. We want to win big.
You're also going to be an unofficial captain while you're here for Team PR.
Oof. Yeah, Team PR, that's, I wish I could have played in the Classic. Obviously, represent your country is something that's huge, but, the schedule, didn't align properly.
Half the clubhouse is on.
Yeah. Oh, I know what you mean. I thought you meant because they're coming here to the Red Sox to work out before going to a Classic. But yeah, we got a lot of players here that are going to a Classic, and they look ready. They look ready.
Once Carlos Jr. is here, are you sure you're not on the team?
On what?
On Team PR?
Yeah, I'm not on the roster. Yeah, it's my wife is due a day before the game start, right? I'm gonna spend some days with her and with Kylo and my other son Kenzo, and it was a hard decision because obviously I want to represent my country, but at the same time, I owe it to my family. I owe my family and my wife some respect, and also my kids, and be able to be a father. For me, that was something life changing, and there's nothing that I would change for or I would trade for my family. So if that means giving up a couple games, in the baseball classic, I had to do it because I had to be there for my wife and my kids. But at the same time, when you talk about playing in the second round, it's I'm gonna be 5 days maybe over there with my family. And those 5 days, I'm gonna go to the cage. I'm gonna go take some ground balls. I might work out, but I'm not playing games, right? So my body's not gonna be ready to go play 9-inning intensive 9-inning games in the classic. So for me, it was not smart to. I'm gonna miss the first 5 games of the first round. I'm not playing games during that period, and then just ramp up right away and play 9 games. And I owe it also to the Minnesota Twins, who obviously, I signed a long contract with them, believed in me that, I make sure I'm gonna be ready for opening day. So, hard decision. Talk to my wife, talk to my team about it, talk to the Twins about it, and that's how we came up with the final decision.
Kenzo?
Kenzo,
Spell that.
Kenzo.
What's that?
A name?
Okay. Where'd it come from?
My wife and I were looking at names because we like names with K, hence Kylo and Kenzo. I sent her a couple names, and she liked that one, so that's the one that we stuck with.
What are some of those lofty goals you have that will add up to like a championship?
Well, I like to write my goals, and on the way over here on the plane, I was writing, and the first one was make my teammates better. And that's my main goal in spring training. I'm obviously gonna work on myself, on getting my timing as soon as possible, yada yada. Same thing we always go through in spring training, right? But helping my teammates get better, that's the main goal for me, because if I can accomplish that, we're gonna be in a great spot come October. So for me, that was number 1 on my list.
Is there any particular moment when you get to know Byron last year where you're like, okay, this is going to be a really close relationship, a really meaningful one? Any really meaningful moments that stand out to you?
I think when the first off day of the season was in Boston. I organized like a team dinner. We went to Mastro's in Boston, and sat next to him, and I ordered wine for everybody on the table, and he's sitting next to me. I said, hey, like, you're gonna have a cheer with us, get some wine. He's like, oh, I don't drink wine. I'm like, hey, this wine's it's good, right? Like, do you trust me? He's like, hell yeah, I trust you. I'm like, then have a little sip. So in that moment right there, when he said, hell yeah, I trust you, I was like, okay, I got my brother's trust already. Now I can get to work, because trust is something that's really hard to earn, right? And in such a short amount of time, I spent 2-3 weeks in spring training that year because of the lockout and signing late. And that's 1 week into a season. So in the span of a month, I was able to gain his trust. And from that moment on, it was uphill, right? Once you gain somebody's trust, that's all you want, and then from there you can build together, and we started building from there. So now we got a lot of more time together.
Did he like the wine?
He liked it. At least he told me that. I don't know if he was trying to be nice.
I know, Danny's got a question.
Carlos, any concerns, challenges for you, your teammates, and maybe the players around the league with the rule changes this year? Is one going to be maybe a little tougher for maybe you or some of the other players?
I've been talking to a lot of players that play in AAA, and they love it. I mean, everybody loves it. From the pitchers to the position players, they love it. And I love it too. I mean, there's no reason why a 9-inning game should last 4 hours. Like, there is no reason, right? So I guess, making the game, the pace faster and making the games shorter, it's good for the fans, it's what they want. So at the end of the day, they're the ones that matter. You wanna be able to please the fans and for them to have a great experience when they show up to the field. I'm a big MMA fan. When I go to a UFC event, what do I want? I want the best experience possible, right? So baseball fans want the same. And if that's what they feel like is gonna make the experience better for them, then we as players gotta be okay with it and adjust and make sure they have fun at the ballpark.
Larger bases, is that going to increase the chances of you stealing a base?
No chance. Rocco, no chance.
Carlos, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I've been curious as hell about this.
But you're gonna put me in the spot.
He's going to. Acknowledging that you've already made $50 million in your career and you're guaranteed $200 million over the next 6 years from the Twins. You were guaranteed $350, or going to be. In one sense, you've lost $150 million.
Well, I didn't have it.
What is that like? Is that on your mind? Does that bug you? Or?
And money's money, brother. Money's money, and if money's what makes you happy, then you gotta reevaluate your life. Money's a source for me to help my family move forward, to give an education to my son, to get my parents out of poverty, to make sure my dad doesn't work a single day in his life again. But you will never hear me bragging about being the richest man in the room or anything like that. Money is just a number in your bank account. For me, it's about the relationships that I build, the lives that I change. Now that I'm a father, how good of a father can I be? How good of a man can I raise? And those are the things that are important to me. So I haven't even thought about losing money. I just thought about the opportunity that I get to still play baseball and still enjoy the things that I love to do, and also make an impact on other people's lives. So money is just money, man. It's not that important to me. My motivation was always getting my family out of poverty. I was able to accomplish that. Now my motivations have shifted because I'm a father. So I want to be a great father, and obviously I want to be a great player. Those are the things that make me happy. So yeah, we keep moving forward.
Do you prefer to lead by example rather than verbally?
Oh, it's just. I don't know which one I prefer. It's a good question, but I say that you can motivate somebody verbally, as well as just showing up and doing your thing, right? But the thing about leading by example is that when players see you doing things, they might not understand why you're doing them, right? And when you're verbal and you explain and you're there for them when they have the questions, then you're helping on another level, right? Like I said, I look at Altuve and I look at all those guys, and I said, this is what they do that makes them successful, right? But asking the questions is what took my game to another level. Sitting with the analytic department and asking the questions and being the dumbest guy in the room, that's what took me to another level in my game. Sitting with doctors, way smarter than me, obviously, that understood like, how can I fix this? How can I be healthier? How can I post every day? That's what took me to another level. So, the verbal is as important as the showing up every day and leading by example. But I think I'll give a slight edge to the verbal.
You guys got enough to work with?
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Have a good day.